Hi there, Sandra here. So I've got some craft foam here. This stuff is very, very soft and malleable. It is sold for children. It is air drying and it actually has got a lot of uses if you're into doing things like three-dimensional flowers and that sort of stuff. You can use this. And as you can see, it's very stretchy. It looks a bit like marshmallow and it looks like it should be really sticky, but it is not sticky at all. It's really fun stuff. You can get it in different colours, or you can colour it yourself. You can airbrush it, you can paint it, you can do what you like with it when it's dry. So, yeah, useful stuff. Now, I do tend to put this into a proper vacuum sealed bag if I'm not going to use it all in one go, because other than that, it can dry out. You can improve matters by misting it with water before you put it away, but it will only last so long if you do that. Eventually it will dry. So I thought I'd see if I could cut it with my cutter, which is the Siser Juliet, and yes, you can. Very easily, as it happens. I've got a little clip of video of the machine actually cutting this letter P. I used a force of 5 and I used a different holder and blade to the one that I normally use. You do this sort of thing at your own risk, okay? Be sensible. Think about what could happen and what might happen and what might not happen. And after that, it's up to you. So I cut out this heart first of all. I've rolled it out so it's fairly thin. The heart came like so. Now, I'm not saying you're going to be cutting out tiny little details out of this stuff. You probably wouldn't. But if you wanted to cut out the base shape and then just tidy it up by hand afterwards, you can do that quite easily with this. Now, what I haven't done is put it directly onto my mat. 2 reasons. I don't know what kind of oils or anything are in this, which I don't want to get on my mat. And also, it would tie my mat up having it drying on my mat for ages. So I just put it on a piece of acetate. And so I chose a couple of letters to cut out as well, just so that you can see how well or otherwise it does. I'm just going to tear this away because this is still very soft and pliable. I don't want to treat it too harshly. I'm going to take that piece out of the middle and just tidy that up a little bit. So you can see you've got some kind of drag mark from the blade, which is what you would expect, but it's nothing that bad. It could probably save you a lot of time if you're having to hand cut. What I would probably do is just keep it on the background piece, tidy it up with maybe something like a nail dotting tool or something like that, just to smooth edges. So yeah, you can cut your foam with an electronic cutter. It's not putting any pressure on it because this stuff is so soft. Literally, you could cut it with a fingernail. It's not difficult to cut. So the knife glides through it very easily. Now what you would need to do is to have the blade stuck out much further than you would normally do. So I will put a picture in at this point and show you how far the blade stuck out. And also what you're going to do if you're doing this is to put a spacer between the material on your mat and the blade. So as a spacer, I use a tongue depressor. So this sort of thing, and I'll show you a photograph of how that looks as well if you want to try it. Now this is not something which has been publicised by Siser. It is something that I've done before on other pro cutters, and there's no reason why you shouldn't be able to do it. As I said, it's not putting any pressure on the machine. You're not going to be putting anything on your mat that you shouldn't put on it. You probably want a deep blade rather than a normal 45 one, and you do want it stuck out a while, but you know, other than that, there's no reason on earth why you can't. I mean, in the past, I've even cut rolled fondant to make decorative flowers for cakes before now. They won't be edible, and it's not something I necessarily recommend doing, but it is possible to do it. And if you're looking at different ways of using your machine, then yeah, perhaps this will be of use or of interest to you. So that's it for today. Thanks for watching. I'll see you soon.